Bam. Welcome back, guys. Advocates for Justice Paralegal School. I'm Coach Neighbors. You guys know who I am, and we about to get ready to get rolling tonight. So first thing I wanted to let you guys know about is I woke up this morning with a pink eye. I know. It looks kind of funny. I don't know if you guys can see it, but my wife told me I had pink eye. I don't know what the hell pink eye was. So I told her that I thought pink eye was, okay, just bear with me here, was something that white people get. She just looked at me and laughed and walked away, shaking her head. That means I'm right, right? Anyway, yeah, I got pink eye from somewhere. So my eyeball looks kind of funny. But hey, I still got one good eye. Well, one and a half, because my eye's just half gone. It just looks bad. We're still moving forward with what we got to talk about tonight. So tonight, I'm sure you guys have read the list of what we're going to be talking about tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about credit card defense. Yep, how to beat a credit card lawsuit. So this is like a live stream credit card defense seminar. Yep, that's what we're going to do here. So welcome back to Advocates of Justice Paralegal School. We are different and we prove it. Before we get started on all the good stuff, I want to ask you guys to please click on those ads showing on my YouTube channel so that I get paid. When I start making some money from those ads, I'm going to lower my prices even lower so more people. My goal is to be able to provide a service for people who have the courage to fight, whether they are struggling with finances or not. So I want to have lower prices at some point in time, but we got to take one step at a time. So you guys click on those ads and make sure you subscribe. When you subscribe, ring that bell. When you ring the bell, you get notification when it's time to rock and roll. And leave a comment as to the value of the education that you're receiving from my paralegal school. Yeah, I bet you guys didn't know you was going to be in school, huh? Funny how it goes. A lot of times, the best way to learn is when your own behind is on the line. When your behind is on the line. So we're going to get started here. So my credit card lawsuit package has become pretty popular, and I'm adding something to it, a little something to make it pop just a little bit more. And we'll get to that in a few minutes also. Not used to starting on time, right? So let's just get it rolling. So the first new bomb I'm adding to the credit card defense lawsuit package is my jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit package. And we're also adding the reconsideration package, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, you must study the instructional video for the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. If you're working on something and it's in a zip file, then you need to watch the instructional video for that zip file. If you have a zip file and another zip file, then you need to watch two instructional videos to make sure you understand how to use the documents in both of the zip files. So that should pretty much sum it up. Now, what makes a jurisdictional document the bomb is the fact that attorneys can't respond by counter affidavit. The jurisdictional challenge / affidavit, the attorneys cannot respond by counter affidavit. So the judge will have to allow attorneys to proceed without proving the court's jurisdiction on the record. Now you need to sue the judge for violating your right to due process. That's what this program is about. It's about cutting to the chase and going after them for violating you. Because if you don't figure out how to make it fair, you're never going to have a chance. And when I say fair, I use the term loosely because it still ain't fair, but at least you be the one in charge, making them come answer to you instead of them beating and punching you in the face. You're going to get the punch back. And I tell people that enroll in my program, at some point in time, you're going to learn how to have fun. And that's going to start as soon as you invest in your package. Now, you have to turn their credit card lawsuit into your due process lawsuit and file it in federal court. That's pretty much what you're going to do. But first, you're going to use the jurisdictional challenge to mess up what they got going on in state court to give you a little bit of time to get this other stuff done. Remember, your goal is not to answer to their lawsuit, nor is your goal to have the judge rule in your favor. Now, with that being said, the answer that I use for their lawsuit is my own lawsuit. Yeah, run the same play on them. They file a lawsuit on you, you file a lawsuit on them for filing a lawsuit on you in a higher court. Really, when you stop and think about it, it's pretty dang simple. Does not have to be complicated. Your goal is to keep their butts in federal court and to use the state court nonsense as evidence in your lawsuit, proving that your rights were to due process were violated. So, and this is, we're talking about credit card. We're talking about any dang thing right now, okay? We're talking about credit card. We're talking about foreclosure. It stinking don't matter. What you learn how to do in my program is control the court process. And you control the court process. When you control the court process, you don't have to worry so much about what they did or when they did this or all of the stuff that everybody wants me to listen to. I don't need to hear all that stuff because we don't use any of it in this program. Now, remember, you're going to be adding the attorney who signed to start the credit card lawsuit against you as the number one defendant in your federal lawsuit. You will also be setting yourself up to sue the judge as soon as the judge violates you by ignoring your pleadings to help the attorneys. So if you follow the program, you're going to be putting yourself in a position that you need to be in down the road. If you don't follow the program, I'm not sure you're going to be setting yourself up to be moved over into their conventional program instead of staying over in the non-conventional side, going up and down the hill. So that's with our eyes closed. Yep. All you must do is stay in court and keep punching the attorneys in the face, punching them in the face with stuff they don't want people to know or have on the record. Attorneys have so many folks who give up and they don't have time to fool with people who are punching them in the face and suing the judge. We're keeping it simple. Once you add the attorneys to your lawsuit as the number one defendant, they will be forced to hire outside attorneys to help them. The problem the attorneys will have is they will not be able to find outside attorneys to help them once the outside attorneys find out that you are suing their attorney for being the real plaintiff and lying to the court, basically. Okay, because you'll see in the credit card lawsuit, that lawsuit is signed by the attorney, not the credit card company or anybody else. It's signed by the attorney illegally acting as a third-party debt collector. So that's what's up. So when you file your lawsuit against them in a higher court, that's going to create a little bit of a problem. So they're not going to be able to find someone so easy to help them. The outside attorneys are not going to want to get involved with credit card attorneys doing because they know what their credit card attorneys are doing is illegal, and the new attorneys are doing the same stinking thing. And I think that is the reason why they don't get involved. So now the judge is going to have to allow the attorneys once again to violate the law and represent themselves in court, or the judge is going to have to return the money for helping the attorneys throw you under the bus. I like to keep it simple. So this program is structured to help you learn how to back them into the corner so you can turn the tables and sue the judge for helping them. We already know the judge is going to help them. So if your strategy does not have a game plan to deal with the judge when the judge helping them, when the judge helps them, you're going to struggle. If your strategy does not have what you need in it, it's going to be complicated in the end for you, and we don't want that. You can't be having that in my team. So this document package is jamming up the attorneys all across the United States of America. I added the extra things in it just because I can. And I want to make sure people have enough fire when they go to the table that these fools don't want to see. There's no, in my opinion, there's no save things for trial or any of that stuff. You want to have all that crap on the table. So they have to make a determination whether or not they want to go forward or not and have this stuff exposed and have other people saying that they're doing the same thing to them. Yep. Now, I also added my reconsideration package to this, and just in case you need to object, like say, for instance, if the judge has already ruled against you in the credit card lawsuit and you need to stop all of that, the first thing you need to do is you need to attack the person who made the judgment against you. You need to sue the judge. You attack the judge. You file your objection, your notice of recusal, and then you file a lawsuit against the judge. And see, this is how you control the court. When you do that, and now their vessel is floating around in admiralty jurisdiction with no motor. Yep, keeping it simple. When you attack the players and recuse the judge and then sue him, the attorneys will have a problem. And the strategy for the new document is, when you've been dragged into court already, the jurisdictional challenge is what you're going to need to use to get things under control and pretty much stop the state court case. Or the jurisdictional challenge is what you would use if you need to reopen a case that they're saying was closed, because I don't believe there's no closed cases. There's only a closed case when you go sit the hell down. So that's how that goes. Now, I would also use a jurisdictional challenge, like I just said, to reopen a case that's less than 15 years old, because you can challenge jurisdiction up to 15 years. And everything that we do is based off of that concept. So on my YouTube channel, I would suggest anybody that's new to this would spend their new time looking at the updated jurisdictional challenge video in the jurisdictional challenge video playlist, in the instructional playlist for the jurisdiction. Okay, you guys got it, right? The update to the jurisdictional challenge has an update in it about how the attorneys are trying to get out of facing this document and what you need to do about it. So you may well watch that too, and all of the other videos that are in that playlist, so you understand what you're doing. It's very important to watch the instructional videos before you fill out your paperwork. I have a few people who did not do that, and they thought that my stuff was the same as the conventional stuff. You just file it and go stick it in their face. No, you need to learn some things, because they're going to try and stop you from filing it. And if you haven't done your homework, you're going to believe them and you won't get your stuff filed. And it's a whole lot easier to have the crap under control at the gate than to come back and play catch up after they watch you walk away with your head down thinking that you just got your butt kicked because your documents are crap. Imagine that. Seriously, somebody did not do their homework. Okay, sorry. Now, some people spend their time filing an appeal, and to me, that's a total waste of your time and money, unless you're trying to buy time for something and you didn't find our program. I'm just saying. Because when you do your appeal, you're asking them for stuff, and if what you're appealing has merit and they've been really bad, then what they'll do is just send your stuff back down there and let them beat your butt again. Yep. They're trying to do the same thing that you're going to be doing to them. Punch them in the face till they go sit the hell down. That's the game plan. We have been learning how to cut to the chase and jump up in the judge's face as soon as you need to. When you challenge the jurisdiction, you cannot continue to file documents in the case, or you're passing up your challenge and allowing the process to restart. I'm just saying, because there's some people that feel like they have to answer. Now, you can answer with your jurisdictional challenge and your lawsuit, or either or both, before you have to worry about answering to any of their crap. And if you don't believe me, you can read the Federal Rules, Civil Procedure on answering. That's where all the rules are for everything anyway. So you can go read them and you'll know exactly what you'll find out, that you can challenge jurisdiction. You can file your own lawsuit. And what I teach people how to do is, if you're struggling with your finances, file this as a in their case in state court as a counterclaim. Add the judge to it, add the attorneys to your counterclaim, and file it right in their face. They're gonna be like, "What?" Yeah, but we do it all day long, and there ain't nothing they can do about it. Then you get to reply to their response before the judge can get involved. Sometimes they rush you and they don't allow you to reply to their response, which means that your due process is getting violated. And that's pretty much what we go after the judge for in the end. Now, the first document you must file is a jurisdictional challenge if they've already dragged you into state court, or you need to reopen a state court case. You guys need to understand that what you learn here is about how to control the court process. And therefore, I don't need to know all of the stuff that they did to you. And it's not something that we need to discuss. Very little of that needs to be discussed in setting up your strategy. We're going to control the court process. You always want to file your challenge to stop or reopen the case, object, recuse, and then sue the judge. That's how that goes. And that's pretty much how it goes in the foreclosure or any of these other cases. That's how it goes. People get wrapped up in all of the stuff and make it complicated. You don't need to do that. And once you recuse the judge, then you dare any other judge to step in. And in most cases, if you do this right, the new judge is going to terminate the case. And we have had that happen several times. I had it happen with my sister's case. And there's been a few more people, but not everybody wants to go on Google and admit that they were in foreclosure. It's a little embarrassing. And I don't worry about that, because if people refuse to get in my program because they don't like my reviews or haven't looked at the reviews or whatever, then I'm thinking they're not the right person for my program, because we need people that are stepping up to get the win, and not people that are waiting to see how many people won before we take action. What's important is you need to understand, and what you're doing makes sense. That's it. You don't have to be a legal expert to figure out that if someone's suing you, you might want to sue them back if you can in a higher court for violating federal laws and stuff. That's what we do. Now, if they find another judge, then I would object to the new judge on the grounds of conflict of interest. Because if you're suing the judge, any of the judge's friends is not going to be too partial to you suing the judge. I'm just saying. So I would object. And then I would use the removal document in your lawsuit package to move their case over to federal court to be connected to your federal lawsuit as evidence. See how they like that? Then you just go over to federal court and ask them to call down the state court and have state court transfer your case file over to federal court. Now, that's going to be a problem for the attorneys, because state case law don't fly in federal court. As far as you're going to be, you'll be fine, because we use federal case law in all of our stuff. Even the stuff that I structured for state court, I use federal case law in it, and I have the case law in the documents to support that. At the end of the day, there's no difference between using federal case law. There's no difference between using federal case law in state or federal court than there is by using Supreme Court case law in federal or state court. So you can use the higher court in the lower court, but you cannot use the lower court in the higher court. It don't work that way. So them fools gonna have to make a decision. It's making things complicated for them. Now, the lawsuit for the FDCPA violations is structured to be filed in federal court. However, it is possible to file the claim in debt collectors as a counterclaim. So like I was saying, you can file that in the debt collector's counterclaim in state court if you choose to, if you need to. And that depends on your situation. You have way more control when you file it in federal court and drag them over there, but you also have control in state court if you have to file it in state court. At least it's going to stop the process, and you'll be still in your house. That's number one goal in my program, to stay in your house. Or in this case, it's going to be to block them from getting in your bank account or garnishing your paycheck. And then you must add the attorney to your counterclaim as the number one defendant. I would add the judge too, because the judge is wrong. They have no injured party, so the court don't have jurisdiction to do anything. That's just one reason. I could go down a whole list of reasons why. But if you paid attention to if you studied the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit, you know exactly what you need to talk about when they bring that up. Now, the remaining documents are structured to harass the attorney, and you can review them and file them anytime if you choose. The package contains everything you need to control and sue the attorney and the judge for violating your due process rights. And I guarantee you'll have fun with this package. So I'm going to open up the share window. And let me stick a different banner out there. I'm going to open up the share window and let you guys see what the package looks like. Okay, we're going to share screen. This one. So this is what the package looks like, when you open up the first. Okay, well, just when you click on it here, you'll get it as a zip file. When you click on it, it opens up into these documents. Now, this first one is a demand to strike the notice of appearance because the attorney is a foreign agent and is not registered with the Foreign Agent Registration Act. So you want to strike the notice of appearance. This one here, there's a whole new file, and this is in a zip file, so it has its separate instructional video. And this is the Magistrate Judge Reconsideration Package. So when you open it up, this is what it looks like. And then you open that up again, and these are additional documents that you would use. Objection to and notice of recusal to the judge's magistrate judge consent form, notice of recusal, and then your notice of appeal template. We don't really use that, but it's in there just in case you need to throw it in their face to buy you some time to get your stuff filed, stuck in their face. So now this is the affidavit template. Everyone sees that. You have a civil cover sheet answers. So this is the cheat sheet for the civil cover sheet. So it shows the answer that you're supposed to put in there. And this is the instructions for the credit card lawsuit package. It came in kind of big. And these instructions are in the package. And this is the case law that I use to support using federal case law in state court. And we're just going to kind of stroll down that real quick. Now, this is the lawsuit in this package that you're going to be suing them for violating. Let me move it down here so you can see it. We're just going to open up the front page and let you guys take a quick look at it. So this is the lawsuit that I put together, and that should be in red because you can change that to put whatever you want in there. Let me close this out. So you're seeing here, you're going out there for be in violation of the Foreign Aid Registration Act of 1938, violation of the Fair Debt Collection Act practice because they're misleading you by pretending to be the plaintiff, the lender, pretending the lender is suing, or the bank pretending their credit card company is coming after you, and it's not the credit card company. It's the attorneys acting as third-party debt collectors. So they're in violation of that, wire fraud, mail fraud, and RICO. So you can see that we ain't playing over here. So just so you guys can see what the first page or so looks like there. So and this is a very powerful package, and it's undefeated. So I'm just going to throw that on the table. And this one I put together. I put together this to dismiss the credit card lawsuit for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. This is the older one I put together a while back. We have a little more powerful stuff to use in that. So I wouldn't waste my time filing that yet. I would just go ahead and go for the throat. Now, this is sweet. This is the objection to the magistrate's ruling and a notice of removal. And keep in mind, this is not a motion. This is a notice of your objection and notice of removal over to federal court. And this is what we need to use to move their crap over to federal court when you get done punching them in the face. And I always have this. Oh, this is one of my favorite documents, man, and they hate it. Your motion for sanctions pursuant to Rule 11 for filing a credit card lawsuit without, according to their own rules, they're supposed to do a reasonable pre-filing investigation, and they never do. So this is like a little mini lawsuit inside of a lawsuit. It's pretty cool. A lawsuit in a lawsuit. And you see here, we got the case right here showing that we're using federal law in state court. They don't like it, but they have to lump it because they can't do nothing about it. Now, this is the new docket, the new file that we added to this package, the jurisdictional challenge. And you get all of this stuff to challenge the jurisdiction to $2 million lawsuit for the FDCPA administrative procedure. Now, this lawsuit here, this package here is actually it's the same thing as the one that we have in the package, but there are a couple extra documents in there that you might want to look at. Got your notice of default, and then your motion for a hearing on the jurisdictional challenge, motion for summary judgment, a motion to moot anything the attorneys filed until they prove jurisdiction on the record, inventory response to the judge's order, and the notice of removal. So all of this is on sale right now. Cheap. Hey Neville, how you doing? Welcome tonight. We're talking about how to smash a credit card lawsuit. Well, actually, we're talking about how to smash the court processes. Because remember, I told you, it's not about the thing. It's about controlling the court. And what you learn here today can be used in your foreclosure defense. It can be used in civil court. It don't matter what you can learn how to control the court process. That's what we're doing up in here. So that is it. We're going to stop the screen share and get back to the program. So you guys invest in my program and start using my stuff. I guarantee you're going to have fun. And the jurisdictional challenge was an affidavit. I had one person email me or something and said they removed the affidavit part. And boy, I didn't even say anything to them. I mean, why would you do that? It doesn't say an instruction to remove the affidavit part. The affidavit part there is there to, if you remove the affidavit part, they'll answer. They'll respond to your jurisdictional challenge and say blah, 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 blah. And it'll just be blah, 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 blah. But when you have the affidavit there, they have to respond by counter affidavit. So they can't lie. So then the judge is going to let them pass. And when that happens, then you can go after the judge for violating your right to due process to help them. So if you're facing a credit card lawsuit or a wage garnishment, you know what to do. Click on the link, make your investment, and start having some fun. This program could be the most important legal defense breakthrough ever discovered. The way we do things is the bomb. Advocates for Justice Paralegal Service is the next best thing to hiring a high-dollar attorney. And the main thing is because you get to learn how to do it yourself. Also, check out our new website. Our website, I've added some more products to the website. It's really nice. I have it set up now to where you can look at some of the products, and then I have a link right on the front page. So you can just click on the link at the bottom of the product and look at the product instead of having to go to the product page and then figure out which one on the product page. Yeah, it gets a little complicated. So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for you people who like it less complicated. How'd they do with that? So one of the things I want to talk about, you guys, before you contact me, if you're facing a foreclosure, before you contact me, you need to figure out a few things. You need to figure out if you're in a judicial, non-judicial, or tax lien foreclosure. You need to figure out those things out before you contact me. And once you figure that out, all you gotta do is Google it. Then you can go to my YouTube channel and check out the instructional video playlist and watch the instructional video for the type of foreclosure that you're facing. And then you'll have some kind of an idea of what you need to do or what needs to be done and how to do it, what document to file first. You'll have an idea where to start. After you do those things, you can message me or email me. Best thing to do is catch me on Facebook or Facebook Messenger and ask me any questions that you have. At that point, our time will be spent in the most wise in the most efficient manner, because we will be talking about what you need to do to go forward, and not what happened back there, because we don't care about back there, because you're not going to be using none of that for what you're going to be doing up here. So you need to keep that in mind. Search for the instructional video playlist, watch the instructional videos for the package that you need. That's how you do it. And I can tell when the people that do that, because when you have questions, they're totally different. And that's the way this has got to work for everyone. Because if you don't take the time to do the homework, you're not going to know what to say when they try to send you astray with their BS. And here is a link to that package. Now, how much would you pay for a package that had all the stuff in it that I just explained to you? I don't know. How much do you pay, Neville? $2 million? The packages don't sell I think I have it on sale for $200. $200 for all that I just showed you. What a deal. So that's all the value I have for you guys tonight. If you're facing this, if you're facing a credit card lawsuit situation, or they're trying to garnish your wages and take your money, this is what you need to take care of that problem. So I hope you guys find some value in tonight, and I'll see you in the next. I'll see you next week. Actually, I'm going to post another video tomorrow, so you guys might want to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys, and good night.